So what we now come to is the action items, and I'll hand over to you.
Thank you. Would you like me to identify things that where there is progress and where I thought it may be close? Rather, because I'm mindful that we were in an extraordinary meeting, so any progress against previously discussed things may not have been a case that it may have.
I'd be happy enough to confirm, but I would sort of request that if something had to be on the go since February 21 and it hasn't been done, then I think we've got a problem, and it either needs to be done and reported as that, or maybe there needs to be a process, but it doesn't really need to be there.
I think and there are certain things which are ongoing work rather than it being an achievement of a particular task. So the asset management planning, for example, 420 is an ongoing piece of work, because every annual plan, the building manager revisits the asset management plan, for example. That's just one example. So it's your level of comfort for accepting that things can be closed off, in the understanding that it is almost a business as usual type activity.
Well, I think that's certainly.
Which one's one of those?
Sorry, I'm using the example of 420
Right, yeah,
on page 209.
because nothing's come to the table since 2022, well, 21.
Right,
And there's a pushback, we don't understand what you need. So, this is what we need. No, we've still not, then and you can say there. So it's okay to say that it's business as usual, BAU, but there's the information.
right, so
Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. With regards, I think in the next month or so, we've got a workshop on roading.
Yeah.
Coming up. Is part of our rating review workshops, we've had discussions about the forestry differential, the opportunities to rate forestry land, the forestry differential. I've seen another council around the country had proposed to put a forestry differential rate on forestry land. However, they pulled back from that and they review or investigate what the cost logging trucks were doing, or the damage to the roads the logging trucks were doing. And then they come up with a solution, and instead of implementing a forestry differential rate, they had agreed, or an all-party agreement between the council and the forestry companies, that the forestry companies contributed towards the cost of roading. So I'm just wondering as to whether we could have a look at that and discuss this action item within the workshop, and then perhaps have a look to see as to whether there's an opportunity for our roading team to sort of quantify the damage that is occurring to our roads, so that when we go into the long-term process, we can use that piece of work to work out whether, which path we go towards a forestry rate. I would
suggest that's a really good idea. If I may, there are a couple of things on here which can provide a small update on, and with the understanding that either address things along the route that Councillor Holmes has outlined, or we ask for an update at the next full council meeting from the officers responsible. So, for example, number 559, which is around the dog pound, that I suggest can now be closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 137, that is a prime candidate, I think, for an LTP conversation in terms about preparations for the LTP.
So do we need to make reference to that particular action item to be referred to LTP for further consideration with that?
I was suggest it looks successful.
Yeah, move and encourage.
Okay, what exactly?
137.
Yes, what do you do?
So I'm moving it, we move it from our action items, and bring it forward to, conversations, discussions, during the process.
It must be that we gave them update to this decision made at council to move to the LDP process and then.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Do we have a second? Thanks. Any further comment? Okay, all in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Brilliant, thank you.
Almost stand it up and council, look at.
Yeah, I can see also in just one part, which is item 7, I'm aware of, which is around the Great Oak Police arrangements, page 213. I am aware that there are some recent conversations going on with the community team and the rugby club at the moment. So I suspect that we'll have a more of an update at the next meeting.
Right. 213.
So basically, we'll be before this.
And also, I think probably what you and I need to have about actually the funeral usefulness and structure. And I think part of that have to be a little bit disciplined on council, not to put things on here that they actually are seriously get the answer by the next meeting. It's just Russell, are you okay?
I think you may have an update on one of the action items, which might.
Okay.
Councillors, for your patience on one of the action items near the top, item 739. It's been a long-standing one. Essentially, it's a property and payment, property purchase and payment matter, 185 Boundary Road. I've been following up with our property lawyers, Brandon's, who are acting for us. The prospective purchaser had a lawyer. That lawyer passed away, so he hasn't provided our lawyer with this new lawyer's name, but only recently has done that. So I've been pushing our lawyer from Brandon's to get the copy of the sale and purchase agreement to the new lawyer, and that's been the latest update from Brandon's for us.
Can I just ask, we're not, like, is Brandon's on a retainer with us, or like, what's going on? Because if we've been using Brandon's for this long, like since 21, or like, how long have we been using Brandon's? Like, it's, I'm just a bit concerned that while this person, because that's written here, it's like you mentioned Brandon in September 2022, and I guess I just had a concern about what we're spending on the lawyer while we wait for this person who's just been like that would be waiting for March 2021.
Yeah.
So are we making sure that, you know, what's that costing looking like with this?
What is the cost of that not be transferred to them?
I would hope so.
This is, yeah, for the price of 50 people, and I think all other costs relating to the stock and road stay or in the.
Oh, wait, yeah, and
And it's some earlier evictions from councillors, private evictions, or followed up. I first raised it with Hayden Court. They said that they're not into conveyancing and property, so I had to go hunting for another company, and it turned out departments for drawing up the sale and purchase agreement. And unfortunately, the other party has been somewhat slow and lost his lawyer, so I've got to keep watching that to get to secure the payment.
Yeah.
The other party has been rather hold off on proceeding.
I'm tempted to ask if we don't need to bring a somewhat more commercial tie to things like this. If this property was worth 53,000 that long ago, I doubt it's that cheap now. It's 7,000 square metres, for example. That's a lot of land. I'd be quite pleased. I'll pay $54,000. You know, I think obviously we've got someone here who's not particularly keen. They've been given well over 2 years. to pick it up. Is this still the sort of thing we want to be pursuing? Question.
I think it relates to.
That's already within the property that money.
Yeah.
So, but
I think you better explain what it relates to, why a property.
Yeah, the subject portion of the land is a paper road, portion of paper road. And it's also involved in closing of that no longer needed portion of paper road. And just to the it's just by
but not purchased by council.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be- And if they're not going to buy it, you know, like, are they going to buy it? Because if they're not, then we can look at, you know.
But I don't think it's a landlocked piece of land, is it? So even if we sell someone else's, it's not, so.
Well, it's linked to be, if we sold something else, we couldn't get access. You cannot deny access to landlocked land. But that's a secret. But I still wonder about the commercial sense of what we're doing.
there are buildings on the site, existing buildings on the site.
Well, that only adds to that.
That's the thing.
Not give it buildings belong.
Has
But
that,
they will go to purchase and we're waiting to purchase it.
Then why aren't we charging it free?
That's true.
Yeah,
Maybe, Mr. Mayor, maybe, since this, let's call it a journey started, there's obviously been a change in council. It may be useful to bring a briefing paper.
I mean, Boundary Road is a very desirable part of it. No, it is.
While we're bringing briefings back to the council, there's one I've got excluded that I won't talk about, but there's an enforcement issue. It's relates to this, which we haven't had an update on either. If you could bring that one back as well, so they're going to
That was, yeah, something what I was talking about. Maybe we need to.
That guy has a current update on that back. Yeah, so I think we made it.
It's only June.
Sorry?
It's only June.
I know. Okay, any other action items people wish to discuss? Okay, then, well, we will move on. What's next, David? Oh, here's repairs. Better pay attention. Okay, I think it's a fairly brief report. One thing I regret is not part of it was the final recommendations that came from our review of our meeting times and committee structure, etc. And so that's a mission on my part. But nevertheless, I think the message is very clear around one of the components, which is that councillors wish to focus on Wednesday as the work day. So there's no debate and no hearing on that. So that is what is going to happen. Now, we had a little problem with the hearings committee, which was that it turned out that just about everybody on it was Greytown, which meant that certain things were coming up for debate that involved particularly Greytown community, but we had some problem. So there was a little bit of diplomacy was going on and as a result, councillors Woodcock and Bosley could step down. So we put out feelers to councillors Gray and Maynard, and I understand they accept the information. So in a moment we'll vote to add to that committee. Thank you. The next thing that comes on is the local government reserve conference next month, and potentially one of the most significant things that will happen is the vote for the new president of that group. And I think there are many people in my position who think that LGNZ is not being a strong advocate for local. Need somebody there who's going to be much more assertive, much more willing to be here of cabinet ministers, and even, dare I say, a little bit more imaginative about what some of the alternatives are to the status quo, rather than just accepting these go along with that. So the important question is, who are we going to vote for? So I sent out CVs, videos, etc. of the three candidates, who are there to sell environmental area, support, no, you've got it, sorry, and, I've invited people to give their first and second preferences, and some have, thank you for that. 50%. Oh, I mean, did I said that out? Well, council, we can.
Okay.
I can certainly easily see.
No,
I can tell you who I'm going.
Well, actually, well, what I suggested is that, it's a more complicated voting system, going back to the splendors of SDP. The first thing is that we don't all have one vote. We have votes in proportion of our contributions to the vote. And it's one of these things where we have a round one vote. If the person does not have 50% of the vote who's coming on, we put the last person on and we vote again. And when you voted on three candidates, it's only be two round vote. So that's why it's desirable that people let me know who their preference is, but if that person is to slip off, who their next preference is. So, but there is quite a lot of materials that I did see in that you can review to see what you think of it all, and I'm keen to get your views. But in the meantime, we have to have a little system for working out how we actually do what our vote. And so the recommendation is that we delegate the mayor and the CEO, the two people in this council who go to vote on behalf of the council for the president and for any other reason that they come up that we have at this council.
Pretty sure they all come to that table. All the remits, they always come here before they get to the conference.
Well, let us hope that is the case. But we probably, I know for sure that we won't be having a structured meeting before that. So I think the important thing is that you let Paul and me, but not for 10 days and 40 days.
Precious,
We have previously must be elsewhere as well. Wait, so normally,
Did you not see Harry?
yeah, Harry always wins. Yeah, it was the very meetings facility and the GP and GP. Depending on the, I think it's much on kind of.
Yeah. So in the leader where we've got to, I believe.
So it would normally be opened up to
Okay, well, it's in that is, we can certainly, make that possible if somebody wants, is there somebody who wishes to?
Can I just make a comment before you?
Yes.
I'm interested in this. But I want to find conferences very much a very business-like environment with a number of representatives and so on and so forth. And there is a degree of interaction with councils right throughout the country. I find that, in fact, I've been to 3 conferences now, and I get more out of rural and provincial attending that with than I even get out of the conference. So I would really encourage councils to go to rural and provincial as much as they possibly can, because that's not actually a cost of council, apart from perhaps an overnight accommodation, but that has real benefits, whereas very much at a higher level as a national conference. So that's just my thoughts.
And this year it's in Christchurch.
Yeah.
Which Christchurch might be a but it is cold. Well, if anybody has an interest, which is a reason we could make it start.
It's not just that, it's a great way of actually connecting as well, and there's a large Māori group that meets once a year at the conference, normally the day before. So that gives that opportunity. The young members normally meet there.
That's right.
But there's actually some other groups that as new members and on council and things, you may have been approached by different ones on your emails and things, just letting you know about different groups that are there, and so it's a great opportunity to kind of network and meet them, and it's the one time, I guess, of the year when they'll try to make the most of having people from around the country at that, so it's really, it can be beneficial.
One member would be really useful to go actually on council.
Well, the offer is there.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
not
I mean,
emails.
I can see it on my side, I have to say.
But yeah, I want to go.
So,
The next part of your report, you're talking about the LGBT and the jump ahead with my management on that. It might be worthwhile maybe coming to the conference.
I personally said,
Yeah, I'd see you.
yeah. Yeah, you've got really. Yeah. And all we ask is that because there's an opportunity, there's different speakers and things like that, so all we like is that there's. Council. Yeah.
I'll make some checks on videos.
Yeah, however you need to proceed.
So this is not something that's being voted on, but just to alert everybody to the fact that the work on the long-term plan has begun. Whilst it's going to be exploring for a long-term plan, it is my intention to be subscribed towards our 10-year plan for sustainable future. I'll talk about that in a wee bit. But the focus, in my opinion, has to be on how we prepare our communities, how we can support a more resilient in the future. How we respond to the challenges that are being thrown up by, for example, climate change, but also by the sort of cost pressures, for example, that we've experienced and the way in which those things interact and see. And so we have established an initial project team. And on that, I invite the council to be the joint lead. So from a statutory point of view, as the leader of the annual plans to long-term plan, I invited Councillor Olds to be the joint leader of the annual plan, and I've invited Councillor Gray because whether we want it or not, we always have to keep our minds focused on what's happening with the environment, what's happening with climate change, and how we think about those things, how we integrate them into what we do. Now, I've just included paragraphs there. It says there's quite a lot of must-dos and a lot of planning and they can see on the plan, but we have to stop what we're doing, environmental scan, reports, financial report, etc. So obviously, running the field as we I think later was settled the evidence as we could not really engage with them and the end plan. So as a council, we get plan to do a long-term plan every 3 years. In a way, dare I say it, this makes or breaks us as whether we get judged to be an effective council or not. Just want to go back to the 10-year plan for a sustainable future, because one of the things that's going to happen, we're going to get deluged by requests for money. In fact, it's already started. I went to an emergency management briefing the other day where they talked about how much more money they want from us. And I suggest that we look at all of these applications with a view to, does it help us safeguard our future position, or is it just a nice, pretty thing to have in the meantime? And we know for a fact that in 3 years, somebody's going to be coming back for more, because actually it was never sustainable I mean, some of these questions that come out of this are really tough. I mean, roads to Torrens, for example. What happens in a depopulating environment, then the cost of those roads continues to grow and grow. And so are we able, in conjunction with the community, to come up with solutions that will in fact just, if you like, survive the test of time? And I think there are many things that we can do. I think we've got many opportunities here. But unfortunately, it does require a little bit of being and being quite firm on where do we want to be. I just got some stick the other day. It turns out we get $5,000, I think, for the Balloon Festival 3 years ago, which was very nice break out because that's where the balloons land. But actually, I think they do.
Is that a Margaret?
Yeah, but doesn't actually go philosophy. The district as a whole. Is that really the way we think we're going to get value for the future? Well, we have some ideas. But there will be a lot of needed requests. And it can be quite hard to actually make some of these decisions. But I think if we're not making, people will look back at us in 3 years' time in the same way that I thought last year. And so how come nobody was ever going to clean out the wastewater plants? But somebody came down and we actually have sort of building budgets. So those are just my comments on that. You can expect to see a lot more activity, workshops, and obviously just from the discussion today, it's on people's minds as well.
So, you just mentioned the range review, and I said it before, and I know everybody going to take this, so this is not for us, this is for anybody watching us. You might have a perception of the rating review as said, all things financial and constructive. It's not. It is just changing how the costs are allocated across the district. Doesn't increase the pie one little bit, doesn't increase our income by 1 cent. It only will determine who pays what in the ratings in their ratings. And so it's really important, I think, as councils, we need to keep that message going out there. Because as we've seen through the second plan, there is a perception that we strike rural rates and we strike urban rates. And that's not the case. But we need to keep educating people about how our rates are structured. A rating review is only going to change how that won't increase it by 1 cent. So, it's very good. So there are 4 recommendations. Firstly, we received the mayor's report. Secondly, we know that councillors with policy step down, that we appoint councillors Ray and Maynard to the Appearance Committee. And just a slight amendment here, we delegate the mayor, councillor Ray and the interim CD to vote on that. Sorry.
I think only 2 can vote, like.
Well, what I'm
saying
is individuals collectively. What does the South like?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, no,
So you accept what?
anyone has to say now or?
We're moving that.
No, the anyone.
You know, we're delegating to them, they can do it. But
I need to know, are we saying now or not? Do we just say no?
Just if you haven't looked at the videos and read them, CVs, you might not be. So did you get the amendments? Okay, all in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Who's taking it? Oh,
Thank you.
did you miss that?
So I think it's asked for it.
Aye.
We have another report from Councillor Fuller.
Thanks, Marcus. See you later.
Oh, I'm not seeing it.
Yes, so this is the quarterly council. I think it's pretty exciting to see it. I just want to reinforce such good work they do in terms of bringing road safety to the awareness in the district. You'll have noted in there that I've made a comment that funding is not guaranteed for them. Same with us, that they have further funding. But we do need to give them an indication of what it is so they get their budget together. Of all the local groups that we support in the Wairarapa, this is very much a Wairarapa group, and they do work right across the district. In fact, they were down in Featherston just last week, I think, some of you might have seen that sort of thing. Ollie spends time going around all the schools, talking about safety for kids crossing the roads and so on and so forth. So, and they are the ones that basically running the driver and the training for kids in the schools. So they train all the driver mentors across the public schools in our district. They fund the vehicles, so that these are the special vehicles with emergency braking on the passenger side of the car, so they can do that. The payback to the community is that we get young people with their licenses, which means they don't come to the attention of the police straight away, which is when you heard me speak about before, so it's the first step in a spiral down. So it is a very valuable organisation. Everything else question you might have, you know, so.
Very good. It's probably going to happen not around the council meeting, but one thing that's come up with this in the community with a number of ones that we've got community work. We've got questions around road safety signs. Horses and bikes on the side, house on that side is like a specific standard of sign for it. Is that something that we could involve you in your role with this in the conversation?
We pass up so all the various road users are involved in putting that and it's direct access of the police enforcement and so on. So we can put it as written. That's what
So, I just like that here that, you questioned the police, sorry, Courtney. About the speed, South Greyhound.
so.
In your report, it says also the sort of, that's what's the pushback going to be like with regards to that. And he's saying that although there's a few, you know, a few doing that, mainly we're looking at saying that the speed has reduced.
That was up until last meeting. We asked that question all the time in terms of State Highway 2. In the last month, speed tickets on State Highway 2 have doubled.
South Greyhound.
No, they do master it to Featherstone is the area, but given that you can't speed, it's Redcoat City. The logical point is most of the speed tickets probably be able to break out of this structure and it literally doubled in the last month.
Well, it's so busy down here. Well,
you know, so you know, my comment to the police was, I think it was right now you can see things, so there's literally not even a quarter to turn. So I think probably getting fed up with it. And I think
well, it's terrific to see that even with somebody who applies with the law in terms of speed, often loses that little lack of concentration when you're driving between the 85 and all of a sudden looking down your speed only 90, 95.
certainly the feedback we're getting is that the speed reviews inside the town boundary have been universal. Yes, no problems with that. No problems with the speeds around schools and key areas. No problems with the speed sort of between Carterton and Marsden in general. Obviously that I don't quite yet because there's been roadworks it's been going on. But there certainly is a lot of the fact that tickets are climbing into south would suggest that it's not particularly. And to my driving everybody right on that street. If you have more questions on it, without even.
Also have police see, you mentioned the speed reviews, police see how they're going to enforce the police changes in speed limits and regard to speed reviews taking place. Everybody comes to discuss the speed review at a council meeting. Maybe be obviously beneficial to perhaps have police road policing the edge of the road condition be invited to come and have a chat with us.
Yeah, I think you'd like to see it, it would be very, very come down and talk with some of our workshops on it.
They probably say this district, road police manager for the district, is based out around. So, and
Yeah.
expect to then,
Yes,
so
so we've got a sergeant masters.
So, well, I will move that we accept, report,
So I'm happy to see it.
and the reason I moved it, just so I'll be able to make a comment that I'm sure, we'll all agree that safety drivers operate. Almost certainly, on my last week. Now we come finally to the public excluded section, so we're down to turn off the line group. But obviously, we do, with councillor Woodcock, the main. And you're allowed to put a sign on the door.
Yes.
Just as soon as I do the resolution. Do I have a mover to in the excluded to councillor Thomas? That all in favour, please, sorry. Aye.